All right, let's stay in Gaza and speak to Palestinian-Canadian nurse Ahmed Kouta, who worked tirelessly at the Al-Shifa hospital before it was destroyed by the Israeli army. He now continues his work at the European hospital in the south of the Strip. Ahmed, thank you so much for being with us on the program. I want to ask you about your observations in the south. How is it there compared to what you've witnessed and experienced firsthand in the north?
Hello, Adnan. To quickly explain, I haven't been in the south of Gaza for very long. I just got here about 36 hours ago. However, the amount of people in the south of Gaza is very crowded, comparing it to the people in North Gaza. In northern Gaza, people are still managing to be at displaced schools, in homes, as you can see in the video being broadcasts, that are totally destroyed. However, in the south of Gaza, people are only in tents. The amount of people can't be fit into the amount of displaced, in the amount of whatever hospitals, in the places that have shelters that actually have walls in them. So all the people 80% of people are actually displaced. The southern part of Gaza is very crowded. A lot of people, again, the amount of people to the amount of space in south of Gaza, it's not enough for the people that are displaced in the south. When we were in the north, we would hear from our family members, from people in the south, that it's very crowded, that they cannot handle the situation that they're in. But as I actually made it to the south, as of yesterday, and seeing the situation, seeing how busy the streets are, seeing how people are on the sidewalk of what the road was supposed to be of a highway, and the amount of risk and danger people are in the south, it was something that's actually it gave me a different view of life in the north of Gaza and life in the south of Gaza. It's totally two different lives. Even though the whole strip is going through a genocide, that's the southern part of Gaza is living more of a very crowded place. It's living more of it's easier to have a spread of diseases, spread of infection control, and all this stuff is very limited. Also, yeah, in normal days, the south of Gaza, in general speaking, Rafah always it did not have an actual hospital. That was onto the beach side of the city. So now there's the only hospital in the south of Gaza, which is the European hospital. As I was here, I was speaking with a couple of my colleagues, and it's the only operation part that's running in the whole strip, not just the southern part of
Right.
Gaza. And the situation with the hospital, it can only accommodate a certain amount of people. It's lacking a lot of medical supplies. It's lacking a lot of medical healthcare staff and members, as a lot of medical staff were forced to leave Gaza with their families, not being able to deviate from each other. A lot of medical staff have been detained. A lot of medical staff have also been killed. So that leaves the medical team in the south of Gaza very limited to give out full service to people in the south of Gaza. And
Right.
another point, the southern part of Gaza and the healthcare is relying a lot on the NGOs and the teams that come from outside of Gaza. I've seen on the normal basis, being here just for about 36 hours, a plenty amount of aid has been trying to come into the south of Gaza. However, it's not all uh, being allowed to come, and a lot of NGO medical groups have been able to health cannot
Okay.
utilize everything or help
Right.
the hospital go through.
Right. That was one of the main topics that's being spoken about at the UN at the moment. People are talking about how the aid entering the Gaza Strip is just not enough, whether it be food, medical supplies, etc. Ahmed, two things. Talk to me about your journey from the north to the south, and finally, the relationship that you've formed with lemons, because I know that that has been your main source of survival over the last couple of months, especially because the north had received little to no aid until recent time. I mean, every time I look at a lemon, I think of you, Ahmed.
So my journey first from the north to the south, it was a very difficult decision to take. As a lot of stories, we heard people that go to the south, they were either let through to go, which was the good part, or they would be detained, or they would be taken into investigation. We don't know for how long that would be, or they would be killed on the way. So it was a very big decision to take with the risk of you don't know the possible outcome. Thank God, alhamdulillah, yani the outcome I had, I was able to make it through. It was a very long trip, having two bags on my back. They were pretty heavy, and being having to walk around 10 kilometers in the sun during the lunch time period, and
Hmm.
the that time of the day in Gaza right now is usually very hot. So it was a very dusty, tiring trip. However, once we made it to the
Hmm.
Nisairat area where we were able to get in a car, it felt a little bit relieving. However, it also felt like it was a moment of regret for leaving people in the north of Gaza, knowing the situation in the north of Gaza is very difficult, and it's a very bad situation for people to be in. However, the north of Gaza still has about 600,000 people left in it. And my connection with lemons, it happened when we were one time a family that they're destructed, and there was a lemon tree. So we hadn't eaten anything all day, and we found some lemons. So we took out the lemons and started eating them, and it felt like a refreshener because
Hmm.
they weren't very sour, or if they were sour, we didn't really feel the sourness in it. So the one of the most things that were actually available in the market and cheap to actually purchase were lemons. So a lot of people would get lemon to make lemonade, or make it
Right.
into the to make it with pepper, and then just like dip it or with salt and have it. So there were a lot of days, and we would only have a
Okay.
small amount of food, or we would have like we call
Okay.
there's a food that's a soup called kubeza.
Right.
Yeah, there's a soup called fabeda, so that was the most we had at a duration of time
Okay.
with eating and with bringing animal food, and then there was another time where all of that was cut off.
Right.
So
Right. Scenes,
that's what made
scenes
us
of
go in.
serious desperation and a fight for survival. Ahmed Kouta, nurse in the Gaza Strip. Thank you so much for being with us here on the NewsHour and sharing your experience with us. I appreciate it.